Hi again. Thank you for choosing In My Shoes. I'm Hilda Broady, your host. Today, we're still going to address the community issues that make sense to us. And of course, today I have with me my co-host, Bones Kiel, formerly Bones X. Yes, I know the sign says Bones X, and we're going to update it eventually, but you know I'm old. Anyway, I thought I brought it in. I'm bugging out. Okay, but today we have my cousin Daryl. Yes, I told you my family is so special, and I'm going to highlight my family because we are all doing good things for our community because we believe that our community deserves the best, and we it.
Amen.
Amen.
I have no problem with that. So I'd like to welcome my cousin Daryl McCall,
Thank you, Hilda.
Welcome.
Thanks for
and
having
he
us.
has Helping Hands Transitional Home Inc. We're taking care of the homeless. I'm taking care of me. No, let me stop. Okay. I'm gonna give the names and then you're gonna tell us a little bit.
Okay.
And this is his missus, his wife, his lovely wife, Yolanda Chase-McCall, because I'm gonna put that McCall in there.
That's right. Amen.
Okay. And Mr. Percy Lumpkin and Mr. Anthony Cousar. Welcome.
Thank you.
This is your moment to get the word out because we need people to know where you are, who you are, and what you're doing. So, talk to me.
Helping Hand Transitional Home Inc. We started in 2010, August 2010, and it's coincidentally 2 days after my birthday. And so our anniversary is celebrated, about the same time I celebrate my birthday. Me and my wife, Yolanda, decided that we wanted to do something extra, but we wanted to do something to give back, to help our community. I'm a counselor, I'm a KSAC, and so is she. So we're professionals in the field already. And when we opened up our house, it's like a hybrid. What we did was we took parts from each modality that we saw working. So, and like Joe said earlier about nursing homes, he said he wanted to open a nursing home. And that's what we did. We opened up a transitional house, and our goal was to fill the gaps where we saw that other places were failing. We're very structured. The guys pretty much run the house, but they defer to us. We have a set of rules. We're a strong organization, and we do good work. And that's pretty much why I was so grateful when you asked us to come on, because we're a well-kept secret. We kind of want to keep it that way because we never ask for government funds because we don't want anybody to tell us how to run our facility.
And if the government gets involved, they
Yeah.
mess it up.
Right. They want to tell you how to run your facility. And see, we have zero tolerance for nonsense. So somebody comes into our house high, we'll work with them. We'll try to help them get their life back in order. But if we see that they're not serious about themselves, then we have to let them go. And the government would want you to hold on to them to the bitter end. We feel that would infect our other clients. So, and like Ms. Chase always says, the quicker you get rid of the bad apple, the better for the barrel.
Exactly.
And she's firm on that. And it's funny because she has a great organizational mind. Me, I'm more of in the background. She's the face of our organization. Most people know her. When they think Helping Hands, they think her because she's the one that they talk to on the phone. She gives the people the rundown on the program. She does our intakes. So she's pretty much out there in the forefront. Our program, I just believe in our program. We do good work. It's like we had a elderly gentleman. He had traumatic brain injury. We didn't really know that at the time because they didn't tell us. But when we got him and we saw that he wasn't up to par with the other clients, Ms. Chase took him. She researched, found a nursing home for him, and she became his guardian. Now, how many people would do that for a complete stranger? And what she did was she put him in a nursing home on his birthday, because his birthday is coincidentally around the same time as mine. She always gives him a little party. She's there when his family's not there. You know, and like I said, how many people would do that? And he really striving because of her help. Because when we got him, he was in a shelter, and he was lost. You know, half the time he didn't even know his own name. Now, but one person he remembers is her. She comes through the door, he starts smiling. Because, you know, traumatic brain injury, you forget things, and
I know,
as you
I'm
get
TBI,
older. Right.
so.
But one person he don't forget, when she come through the door, he just starts smiling. Because she helped him. She reached out and really helped him. And so, like I said, man, we do good work. I got two guys here with us, Percy and Anthony. And these are two guys that, see, because one thing about me, I'm a loyal person. Even as a clinician, you know, I believe in loyalty, respect, compassion, you know, and I believe in respect is reciprocal. If you respect your clients, they'll respect you. And if they respect you, they'll go through a war for you. Because they know we'll go through a war for them, you know, and that's how our program works. We got a new guy the other day, and he said, wow, this is like family. And I didn't prompt him to say that. She didn't prompt him to say that. That's just how he felt when he saw our environment. I invite people to come and see the house. We're located at 769 Quincy Street in Brooklyn, between Malcolm X Boulevard and Patchen Avenue. We're in the Bed-Stuy section of Brooklyn. And the good thing about it and the bad thing about it is we're in a gentrified area. But it's a good thing because the area is being built up. You know, it's a bad thing because everything is now more expensive than it ever was. But it's good because it's a good area now to raise your children or to be in your own space. You know what I mean? Like when you live in a nice area, you do better. Pretty much, I guess that's mostly all I can say. I just like touting our home because I know we do good work.
So, Helping Hands
Transitional
Home Inc.
Right. And what it is basically is a hybrid. You know how we take from different modalities. We took what we thought worked. Like most transitional houses don't have groups. They don't have a curriculum. It's just like you come in, if you pay your rent, you're good. If you don't, then you go. Our house is built like a program, you know, so the guys come in, they know it's not just about laying around. In our house, you got to be doing something positive for yourself. This gentleman wants to be a counselor. He's going to school for that. This gentleman, he just came with us, Percy. He went through some stuff, but he's back with us now to get back on track. He's had a job. He has work skills. If you hear his story, it's amazing. The kid been all over the place. And you'll hear from him in a minute, but he's like family. And they're like family. We're all like family. That's how we do it. I was in a hospital not too long ago, and this young man was there every day. Every day. And I'll never forget that. You know, my wife was there every day, but he was right there too. You know, and what program do you know fosters that type of closeness and that type of camaraderie? You know, because we don't treat our clients like it's big I, little you. You know, we're all there together. They know we're staff, but they also know that we care, you know, and that we're there for them. And I think that's what makes our house different from other houses. Plus the thing is, it's a nice house. We have a brownstone, and we set it up because we was living there before we turned it into a program, so it was like a living room. We have a living room that's a living room. You know, the bedrooms are nice and clean. We don't book. Like, we don't have 8, 10 guys to a room. The most we have some large rooms, so we might have 4 guys in a room because it's very large. But generally, we have like 2-man rooms, 3-man rooms, like that. Some programs, because we could fit 24 people in the room, actually, but we don't.
Really?
Yeah, we wouldn't do that. Because what we have to do,
Hang them from the ceiling.
yeah,
Right?
well, I'm going to tell you, Hilda, some
I
of
know
them
there are some
go in
places
there,
that
they hanging from the ceiling, under the bedboards.
they sleeping in the tubs.
Yeah. Yeah, we
So-
had one guy that you had rows of beds in this one room. It looked like 16 people in one room, and there was barely enough room between in the aisles that he created to walk.
It was 12 inches.
You know, and I was like, how do you expect people to function? Plus the house was nasty. It smelled. We went in the kitchen. I didn't want to sit down. She didn't want to sit down. We definitely didn't use the bathroom. So, you know, we compare, and we know that some houses are tragedies. You know, and what they produce is tragedies. You know, I got people calling me every day, oh, I got to get out of where I'm at. Can you take us? But we're very strict. She's very strict on who she allows in our program. They have to fit, because one bad apple can spoil the whole house. We had one guy, a little guy, Jamaican kid. He came in there and wreaked havoc. I mean, and he was in there but maybe a week, and turned our program upside down because he was just, his energy was just that negative, you know. And he was a little guy, but man. So you know, I'm proud of what we do. I'm proud of her, my wife. She's my left hand, because I'm left-handed. So, you know, most people say right hand. She's my left hand. We just, like we were talking the other day, when we work together, you can't stop us.
Right.
We
That's
make
what it's
we make
supposed
an
to be.
amazing team when we work together. I mean, we get things done. Our thing is just to be consistent and continue the work that we started. You know, like my daughter said, that's my legacy. You know, when I'm dead and gone, people will remember that, and that's my hope. So now we'll hear a little bit from my wife, Yolanda.
Pardon my voice. But Miss McCall left out a few things. It's not that we actually lived there. What we did was, when we obtained this property, we obtained it solely for the purposes of trying to help clients that once they got discharged out of the programs, you lose all contact and sight of them. There's no follow-through. You don't know where you're sending them, you don't know the conditions, and you don't know what they're being subjected to. So both of us being in the field, God, nearly 30 years, right? We figured we need to give back, because in order to receive, you have to be willing to give. One of the things that we did do is that we went around the house every night, and we had, like, say, oh, I want tea. Oh my God, we need teacups. Then, the rooms were set up. Oh my God, we need this. Oh, so everything was done just the way you would when you move into a home. So when we opened up for the guys, they had a place that they can actually call home. I mean, they can juice. They have the microwave. They have DVDs. They have DVRs. They got air conditioners. We have counselors that say, I'd like to come there. But actually, Helping Hands is a labor of love. And yes, I mean, I do make it stringent, because not only am I looking to see if a person fits the criteria, but I'm looking to see that they fit in with the population that we have. We do not mix the younger clients with the older clients, because it becomes a predatory type thing. The younger ones become more predatory towards the older. So we cater to clients that are at least 35 and older. Yes, when clients come in, we only take, and that's something I have to make it very clear, we only take program referrals, because I need the history, I need the physical, I need the medications, I need the biopsychosocial, I need to know the psychiatric, I need to know the legal, because the more you know about a person, the better you can serve them.
When you say program referrals, I mean from
Rehabs, clients have to have a minimum of 30 days or more clean, documented, where I can call the program and they can say, well, he's been with us through detox and a 28-day rehab. Okay. So what I have them do is I ask the counselors a series of questions to see if they're going to be appropriate, because certain mental health disorders we do not take, because we don't have a psych on call. And it would be an injustice to the client to take them if we don't have all the services that are needed at that particular time. Another reason why we ask for the medical, because if a client falls out, we have something we can provide EMS with, where they're not giving a client something that's gonna cause any synergistic effects on any other medications or contrainteractions with any other medications that they're on. We need the PPD, because we're not gonna expose our clients, the general population, universal precautions are taken. So I have to make sure they're on board. We do test on site, which a lot of places do not do that. We not only take urines, we do breathalyzers. And when Mr. McCall was saying, if a client uses, majority of times, I will refer to detox and rehab. If the client is doing everything they have to do and had a relapse, we consider and we will take them back. But on a general, it's a total free drug house. Even the medications that they are allowed to bring in the house cannot have any kind of narcotics in them or habit forming. I mean, even as much as pseudoephedrine, which is in, Sudafed, we don't allow. We don't allow just certain things, period.
Those are triggers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Not only that, but if I have a client that's on Adderall, he might be selling Adderall to the other clients because it's used for them to get high. So we have
Really?
to be, yes. So I'm very careful because one of my other specialties is physician assistant. So I can legally not only look at the medical, I can also look at the clinical part and the substance abuse. And uniformly, the assessments are done because they're only done by me. So when he says I'm the face of the program, that's because I'm the one that does most of the coordination of services, keeping up with the other agencies. We monitor while they're in their program. I call the counselors. I want to know the attendance. I want to know the participation. I want to know the attitude and behaviors that they're displaying while they're in their program. And in turn, what we do is we have reciprocities with the programs that we deal with, because if the client starts to decompensate, their behavior changes, I contact the program and let them know so-and-so's behaving like this. Maybe it's something you need to observe while they're there. Because before a client picks up the relapse in their mind, before they ever pick up a drink and a drug, it starts from the behaviors and the attitudes. So it's a lot. We embark upon many things, even when the clients leave. They're always, if they leave properly and they're discharged in the proper way and they don't leave like a thief in the night, or if they got kicked out, they're always welcome to come back. Because from Monday through Thursday, we have evening activities within our house. And on Tuesday night in particular, we have a 12-step meeting. So the alumnus can come back and sit in that meeting at any time with their peers.
And they
it's-
do. They come back.
Believe it or not, they come back. And when we have barbecues or if we have special events, they're also welcome back. And that's the only time the house is actually open to outsiders, other than, say, director or someone that the program is referring, because we do not let clients just come and take a peek at the house for the anonymity and the safety of our clients. But if a program would like to come and view our house in order for them to feel more comfortable with referring their clients there, we welcome it. We really do welcome it. But we've been, by the grace of God, we've been doing pretty good. And we've had some very, very, very good, results by doing what we do. When we started, people thought we was crazy because we did this with our own money.
Why do people think that you're crazy when you spend your own money for something that you believe in?
Selfishness and greed.
Well, and they, it's not a sure thing. Like we put a
Nothing
lot
is
of
a
money.
sure thing.
No, but sometimes like I work for the state, and when you work for the state, you see how they do. If it's state money, everything is more. They'll charge you $50 for a cup. Yeah, and then you have that safety net. So if things don't work out, you're not using your own money. You got state money. When you're using your own money, if things should not work out, you just butt out.
You might be butt out financially, but the rewards that you get from seeing that you've touched somebody, that you've made a difference in them,
Yeah.
come on, no money can give you that.
I'm just laughing because when I ran for mayor, I ran with my money. All right.
I think, Yolanda, part of the reason people might think you're crazy, it's not so much about using your own money. What they don't understand and what they're questioning is your motive. They find it hard to believe, why would you do this to help someone? What's in it for you? That's the real question.
Well, you know what the biggest payoff is? It's like planting a plant and watching it grow.
Yeah.
Knowing that you had your hand in something and nurturing it and watching it flourish, no money can buy that.
I get it, but people
know-
tend to view others like they view themselves.
Right.
So what they're really questioning is why would
wanna help
Yolanda and Daryl
somebody.
do this?
Right.
There must be something in it for them. It got to be more than helping somebody.
No,
They're getting
believe it or
paid.
not, it's-
That's what they're really saying.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you, if you want to get paid, don't go into this business.
No, you don't. You don't go in
Seriously,
human
I made
services
more
at all,
money.
really.
Doing what I did before as a PA than I ever did when I changed my field of study into substance abuse.
Right.
And you know what it is? Is that somebody helped me. How dare I not help someone else?
But we're trying to perpetuate, not saying substance abuse, saying chemical
Or
dependence.
chemical dependency.
And we're not saying
exactly.
recovery, we're saying discovery.
Yes, because they
Because-
are discovering new things about themselves every day.
What else can I do besides
A
that?
lot of them don't realize the talents that they hold. Do you get what I'm saying? I mean, sometimes it's like you have to pull it out. And once you pull it out and they see it, the excitement, that's my adrenaline, watching the
once you see-
excitement
Get
of
it.
them succeed and achieve things.
Once you see that you can, and then you know that there's actually services available that you can access if you walk the straight path,
Exactly.
then you can, and they will pay for you to realize your dream.
And see, one of the things that we do is try to plug them into as many
Referrals.
community organizations as possible.
Yep.
And the organizations we plug them into, that we refer them to, even upon discharge or leaving us, whether it be good, bad, or indifferent, they will always be able to fall back on those programs, whether it be pantry services, whether it be other social agencies, whether it be legal services. Right now, what I've been preaching to the guys is that they have this amnesty for if you have minor warrants. So I'm telling them, look, things that you did in the street you might not remember. Go down there, check. Allow them to do what they have to do, rather than you wait till the last minute and then you get arrested for something that could have been avoided. Or, like I said, pantry. Come on, we know the government, they're still giving them, what, $194 for food stamps?
Really?
That can't even, I'm serious.
That doesn't get nothing.
That's not even really like, in most, look at the size of these guys. In a week, that's what it is. They're still paying $215 for
Yes,
rent.
that's
And this
ridiculous.
is from 1930.
Yes.
That they
Well,
have never
if you have
changed.
a child, it's 237.
Exactly. What are you gonna find?
Nothing.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
They're gentrifying the areas, they're making everything higher, the standard of living is higher, but yet what they afford them as a cost of living is below, even
Ridiculous.
triply below the medium level of what you would call lower class.
It's just a step above prison.
Exactly. As
Not-
a matter of
not- not a
fact,
half a step.
prisoners get more
It's better.
than what they do.
No, not salary wise.
Oh, not salary, unless you,
40
unless
cents
you
an
in
hour?
Boston.
Oh,
If you're in
Boston?
oh, forget it, what? That's right, the privatized jails pay them very well. But in New York, I mean,
We
come
gotta
on.
research that one.
Oh, okay. Another
Well,
show.
see, that's
Well, that's
one
modern
of my
day
passions
slavery.
is, honestly, I research a lot. And I keep myself abreast of a whole lot of things because I hate to tell them I don't know. And if I don't know,
I'm gonna find
what
out.
do I say? Give me a minute, I'll let you know. And I'm gonna study and I'm gonna find out, and I'm not gonna give you a half of an answer.
Right.
I'm gonna look panoramically to see what's, going on here, and then I can give you, the more I know, the better off I can help you. Another thing we do with our clients is if they have to, we'll accompany them to the court. We've accompanied clients to the doctor. He'll tell you that one, but, I do the advocates, part too. I advocate for them.
One thing I want to say, Yolanda and Daryl, I've listened attentively as you spoke, and transitional housings are on the rise in our communities. Now, one thing that I really respect and admire about the two of you is that it came across clear your passion, number one, but most important, I see that you will not put your clients in any place you wouldn't stay yourself.
No.
Exactly.
No,
That is key.
yeah.
And I think that it comes across clear. And I think that more people should think that way. A lot of times people run programs or what have you, and some folks are in it for the buck, no matter how small it is.
Yeah.
But I think that when you treat your clients like you would want to be treated, that speaks,
The bad part about this particular thing is that most transitional houses are not licensed one, in regards to the fact of we're actually incorporated. A lot of them is anybody but a dead body. You open up a house, you throw people in it. As long as you can collect the money, it's fine. With us, it's totally different. Like I said, we're clinicians. So our field of study is to do what? Help people. And what's the use in being in a field if you don't have the passion and you don't have compassion for the people that you're serving? you know, and it is, like I said, it is more like a home to them. We try to make it as best as possible because we want, when they leave, to thrive for what they had there. You know, if they used to sitting watching cable, colored TV, having, you know, like he likes the juice, you know, why not have it there so when they leave, this is what they're gonna strive for. They're not gonna strive for anything less. They're not gonna wanna have a place where there's roaches all over the place. And then, like I said, these places, most of them are just anybody opening a house, throwing people in a house, and warehousing them, like meat lockers.
Okay, so can we hear from the guys?
Amen.
This is Mr. Lumpkin.
You know, for years, you know, I was trying to change my life. I was caught up. Well, I went to a few programs, and I would leave. You know, I would go to a three-quarter house, and I would go there, and the individual that ran it, the owner, whatever, it sounded like they had good intentions. And as the place got, whatever the rules they had, they would not make sure that them rules was enforced. So it'd be people's in there doing a little dope and would nothing happen. You know what I'm saying? So it would be going to no rehabs. So I had went to like about 4 different three-quarter houses, and all of them was the same. So in the matter of doing the detox in the 28-day program, is when I got out, it was easy for me to go back doing what I'm doing because that was the atmosphere was there. It was like it was jail. So I would leave there. I was better off. I went to a program, and I was decided to go back again to a three-quarter house. And they sent me to Mr. McCall and Miss Chase. So when I got there, you know, she does, you know, the interview. And, you know, you say what you need to say in order to get in there. But I really wanted to change. I wanted to change my life. I was really sick and tired of doing what I was doing. And even though a lot of stuff was ingrained to me how I was raised, when I was raised down south, I wasn't applying them. So later on, I would hear some of them same sayings that would help me to prosper. So when they approved me to get, in the three-quarter house, okay, Mr. McCall walked in and said, put him in the top bunk. So I never forget it, and it was bottom bunk, so he put me in the top bunk because he thought I wasn't gonna last. so he put me on the top bunk. So I'm like, why you put me on the top bunk? So I kind of stayed there for about 2 months, and he finally, after he said, okay, I thought maybe you weren't gonna last because he was one of my counselors. So as I started noticing, that whenever you say you was going to do something and you didn't do, it was consequences. It was consequences. And Miss Chase will, whatever you say to Miss Chase, it was like a computer. Everything that you ever said to her, she remembers. So she'll tell you everything that you said. And I figure that she was picking at me, but all the time she was trying to help me. One thing I learned about the house, they always told me, Miss Chase and Mr. McCall, like 10% was the drug, but it was your behaviors and you could use on the feelings. So they would work on your feelings to see what to make me a better man and a better person in society. That was their whole goal. So once I started becoming angry and whatever, and I didn't go pick up a drink, because that's what I used to do. I got angry, I'd go pick up a drink. And that would cool, would keep me mellow and stuff like that. But then it would cause me problems of getting locked up and all that. So I started to, because I wanted to change, I started to listen to some of the stuff that they suggested that me to do. And so then I ended up started applying some of the stuff, but I had to get restricted a couple of times, and I had to see certain type of stuff. So a lot of the stuff one of the things that really made me start to listen was when my mother got sick. And how I used to do things is, my mother went to she rode in the paramedics to the hospital, and they didn't deal finger stick, they didn't do nothing. And she was real sick. And I was in there cussing out the security. And I was saying to them, no, first I asked for the manager, right? So the people who, when I said the manager, I didn't know their lingo. I didn't know how to ask for the right individual. So when I started cussing, the security for the kick me out. And so I called Miss Chase. And when I called Miss Chase, she know the protocol of the hospital. And I saw that, knowing the protocol and paperwork, you ain't got to do things like that, dealing with violence. So it made me whole. I said, okay, a little education and trying to learn some stuff and know how to ask and ask for the right supervisor, then things will happen. And once then everybody came down and everything happened at once. They did the finger stick, the EKG, everything, all at once, and they apologized to me so many times. So then it made me learn to do stuff different. And so in that house, what they do is teach you how to be ready for society. They tell you, show you how to get credit, tell you to save money, make sure that you get into a school or a college for a trade. And so they went all the way out for me for vested and stuff like that. And
So you're gonna go to work now, or you working now?
no, right now I'm working on myself, and because I'm coming back. And so when I left with a job, but I didn't do everything that they suggested for me to do.
Oh.
And so I ended up, getting the place, had about 5 or 6 cars, good job and everything, and I got beside myself.
Mm-hmm.
And so they always let me know that you as sick as your secret, so you start hiding stuff. So when they ask me what I'm doing, I might be at a poker game with a bunch of guys, drinking beer, but I can't drink beer. You know what I'm saying? So, and I say, I walk outside, I'm in the meeting, and I lie. You know what I'm saying? So, and certain type of stuff. So when it really got bad, it was like my pride. So they teach us, one thing I learned about them, they always say, pride would get you in a lot of trouble. I could have been recuperate if I didn't accept that, okay, I messed up, let me brush myself back off and get myself back on my feet. I didn't do that because I was, was ashamed. Because I saw what I was doing, that it worked. And I choose to want to go back to the other side for whatever reason, to put myself back towards the torture. But through the grace of God, that, they opened up their hands and said, you can come back. Just like family. So I'm kind of nervous because I ain't never
Don't worry about it. We got you. Don't worry about it.
up in here. So
You're doing great.
So when you go to work, though, because I do job placement, that's why I keep asking. I worked for Vested for 29 years, 29 and a half years. So talk about work now.
okay, I worked in
Where you gonna work?
well,
He's
I
not
just
there yet.
yeah.
Not there yet?
Yes, because what I had to do was I was doing construction, and it wasn't doing me no good. So I quit my job to come back here, to get myself back together.
Do you need to have, for construction, though, do you need to have, like,
OSHA,
OSHA.
flagging, scaffolding, you need all them certificate.
Do you have to go to each union to get them, though? Or is it like one-stop shopping place that you go to? Or?
Yeah, you can go to one, and you can get all them, certificates.
Really? And who pays for the training, though? That's
They
it.
still
That's
pay
it.
for the training, but they're like individual.
Each one, you have to do each one?
Separately, yeah.
Well, I know OSHA, there's a test you have to take. He took it. Well, what he's saying is,
He's not ready for that yet.
no, he did all of that.
So your paperwork is already good. It's
Right.
just that now you have to get yourself ready.
Right.
Yes.
All right.
Exactly. So he don't lose it again. Because our thing is, you got it, but can you keep it?
Okay.
I have a question. By the way, Mr. Percy, for a nervous man,
You doing that?
that was excellent. Very, very articulate, very clear. But I have a question. You mentioned the term, because we like to educate our viewers and ourselves too. You mentioned the term three-quarter house. So would someone explain to us, you hear transitional housing, you hear three-quarter housing, and there's halfway housing.
Well, 3/4.
Okay, a three-quarter house is more looser. A sober house is more structured. It had a little bit more structure. And
Wait, a three-quarter house and a sober house are the same thing?
Yeah.
they kind of difference. the sober house have more demands on you. You got to go to AA or NA. You know, a 3/4 house is more loose.
You
So
don't have to go, but it's optional.
it's recommended for you to go, but they don't insist on that you going.
But it's the same modality.
Yes.
See, that's the thing. That's the difference. What's the difference between transitional halfway? Halfway houses, for one thing, is covered by OASIS, a halfway house. You can't just open up a halfway house. You can just open up a transitional house, and that's what he's saying. It's a modality. Like residential programs, it's a modality. Methadone programs, a modality. There's different ways of treating people, and they're called modalities. 3/4 house is a modality, but it's usually not governed. We're under the state. We went and registered with the state, and because we're CASACs, we have ethical responsibilities, things like that. Most people who open transitional houses or 3/4 houses don't have that. They don't do that. That's what I said. We try to fill in the blanks where we saw people just doing things to other people, you know. So that's the difference. A halfway house is a different modality than the 3/4 house. And then you have residential. That's a different modality than halfway house. It's like a step, right? One is like the basement, say, one is the first floor, then the second floor, like that, if you look at it like that.
So after the 3/4 house, you're ready for the population,
Right.
be independent.
Right.
And I think Mr.
You
Percy-
should be.
You should be.
It should be, yeah.
I think Mr. Percy wanted to.
Yes. When I went to Helping Hands, just as well as individuals, know what you was about, individuals know actually when you change. As I was walking, back into my own neighborhood, through me doing the right thing and when no one is looking and doing right, other people ask you. And then I have, from leaving Helping Hands, I did a lot of speaking to teenagers and to a lot of different places. And I had individuals walked up to me from things that I learned from Mr. McCall and Miss Chase. And guys told me, man, I'm thinking about changing my life from what you said because I've been through what they've been through. And that's how I pay it back forward. And that's why, when some cats walked up to me and said, one guy walked up to me and he was like, he saw me out there drinking and drugging. And he was like, man, I changed my life on account of you. That really hurt me. And I was telling him, no, you changed your life on account of you because, I didn't want him to look at me even though I gave him the information. And so that's what Helping Hands is all about. It's about paying it forward. And that's what I did, at first. Until I started getting back into my ways. But one key thing that now that I know, I understood a relapse towards to them. I said, okay, I did this and I did this. So I went to other places besides coming here, but I know I couldn't get it. So I had to just call them and say, I got to go back and get myself back together. And that's what I did.
Okay. Talk to us, Anthony. You don't like that, Mike? Yeah.
I think they was just.
Okay, it
was just,
doesn't matter. We're just messing with you.
First and foremost, I'd like to thank you for having a format for us to be able to be a voice, about life, the different changes that we go through in life. So I thank you again for having this format. A little bit about myself. I was a street person. My addiction is the streets. What the streets done to me and what I've done to the streets. And what brought me to a Helping Hand was the pain. Pain has gotten great. I didn't want to go back out and do the things that I used to do and get the same results. Mr. McCall, Ms. Chase, I look up to them. I look up to Mr. McCall as a mentor. I look up to Ms. Chase as a mentor because of her knowledge. She seeks knowledge. She wants to know what's the best thing for not only for herself, but for those that surround her, not just the clients, her family, period, her community. The same thing with Mr. McCall. In the 8 months that I've been there, I became a certified peer specialist, certified recovery coach, and I'm working also on my case in the eight-month period because that's what they installed. They installed the goodness. They wanted to bring the goodness out of you. and that's what they did. Also, they also got a discipline. When you get out of line, there's a discipline. But the discipline is not to hurt you. It's to take you to a place where you don't have nothing but to think about yourself. Think about your mistakes and think about what you would do differently and how would you achieve those things. The atmosphere here at Helping Hand is a family atmosphere. Like in any family, you're gonna have your little gripes among the brothers and sisters or whatever the case. But this is all men. It's all men, and we get along like brothers. We argue like brothers, but at the end of the day, we come together like brothers. When someone's going through something, we all stick together because that's what was installed to us by them. With Miss Chase, if you get past Miss Chase is like she's the gatekeeper, you know. And I got to speak about Miss Chase because me and Miss Chase bumps heads, and I understand why, because I lost my mother at an early age, so I really never had a woman figure to tell me things, besides my aunties and my sisters, but they pacified it. You know, and Miss Chase, she has a little firmness with her. And I had to learn to adapt to that firmness. Same thing with Mr. McCall. His style of teaching, his style of bringing the discovery, not recovery, discovery part back into your life. He lives what he speaks. You know, and I look up to that, you know, and being here at Helping Hand, you get an opportunity to explore the goodness in you. You don't have to worry about someone stealing your food. You don't have to worry about all the other things that may go on in other transitional 3/4, whatever title that you want to put on it, houses. The atmosphere is like it's a family atmosphere and allows you to grow, allows you to make mistakes, and they help you brush you off. It's not your mistakes that you make, it's your bounce back, and they make sure that your bounce back is meaningful, where you get a chance to express and show the community exactly the other you, because they bring out the goodness in you.
They show the real you.
Yes, not the representative, not the representative, the real
The
you.
real you.
Like I said, my life growing up was very hard, but yet easy because I had people to pacify it. You know, I come from a very big family. The fatherhood for my father wasn't really there because I had 22 brothers and sisters.
Oh.
So he had to share that fatherly to everyone. So coming to Helping Hand, it's like, okay, Miss Chase is the mother figure, because when she talks to you with authority. But she has love. It's love in it. And Mr. McCall is the father figure, like, okay, what did your mother say? You know, growing up, that's what you heard. You know, when you come to your father say, okay, what your mother say? And that's how it is at the house. You know, first thing you say, okay, what did Miss Chase say? I know I needed that in my life. You know, I needed a platform to where I'd be able to grow. And I've been to other transitional houses, and it wasn't there. It was about the money. You know, you had people using there. There's no using in our house. None, zero tolerance for that. The structure is firm, but it's only firm to build you up as an individual, not to hurt you. The curfews, you know, the policies, period.
The rules.
The rules.
Are there. They're not to be broken.
No,
If it's for your good, and you don't follow them, then you're gonna have problems. And guess what? That was to let me know that we out of time.
Oh, no, we can't be out of time. I got to say something. Mr. Anthony,
I always
once again, excellent, heartfelt presentation. You mentioned one thing about the family, and you started off with the family, and I think that a lot of the problems that some people have in life is because of the breakdown of the family in the beginning. So that's part of the solution in the end.
Right.
And we've done transitional housing before, but I've never felt the energy that I'm feeling now. I mean, I almost want to cry. You know? This is love. This is beautiful.
Thank you.
And I just wish you much success, and perhaps we can do something else, collaborate more in the future.
Just to say something real quick, not only do we have Helping Hands, but underneath Helping Hands, we're starting a new phase, a new transition. Okay, we have a subdivision now we put under our 501(c). It's a new initiative, and that's to serve the entire population for victims of violent crimes. So when we say helping hands, we don't just mean helping in one way. We're looking at help in every which aspect we can possibly touch a person. You know, we're trying to be as inclusive to society, to our people that we serve, and others as well. So we're not finished yet.
Oh,
Not
no,
on time.
this is just the beginning. And thank you for allowing us to have the opportunity to share with other people what we do. Because as I said, we do good work. We do good work. Yeah, well, you can see, those guys are a product of what we do. And that's the payment. You know, the respect that we get, we respect it in our community.
I know.
You know, and I feel like a rich man. Even though I'm broke, I feel like a rich man because of the respect I get in my community.
Okay, but we over. So, to my audience, I want to say our community is blessed with helping hands, and we're going to have a new construction worker, more human service worker, counselors. Thank y'all. I'm no longer a K-SEC because I didn't take my test. Because I'm not going to work, so why take the test? But I want to thank you for choosing In My Shoes. I want to thank you for coming.
Thank you.
And we're going to have you back because I think we kind of ran out of time, but I know that y'all have lives too. And I'm TBI, so I forget stuff. So I'll write everything down next time and I'll lose the paper, I promise.
Okay.
Okay. Be well. Be well.
Thank you.
Joe, thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Hilda.
Thank you. I always forget.
That's
It's
okay.
TBI. They know. My audience knows anyway. Hi again. Thank you for choosing In My Shoes. I'm Hilda Kathy Broady, your host. I need to talk about some things that have been happening that I haven't seen a lot of publicity about, but I need to talk about it because my nephew was murdered on April 28th. And we are at a loss as to what the heck happened to him. Somebody beat the stew out of him and shot him in the head, and we don't know why. If anybody knows anything or has seen anything regarding this matter, please contact the 47th Precinct. He was only 41 years old, father of 8, had finally decided what he wanted to be when he grew up, loved driving, CDL driver over the road, and we're just not understanding what happened and why it happened. Our young people have nothing whatsoever to do with their time. I've been looking for youth employment programs. Unfortunately, it's a lottery at best, and there are very few jobs. What we're asking people to do is to take in a youth, let them do an internship with you. Business people, we have businesses and we have kids who have no clue what the businesses are. Maybe we can help that way because I think it's better to be an intern than an inmate. Does that make sense? Yeah, of course that makes sense. I don't want our kids going to jail. Okay, with the bowling program, what we're going to do is we're going to expand. Triborough will no longer be in existence as of 2018, but we are going to join with New York City Bowling Association and expand the different approach program to the point where we have youth, we're going to continue to have the young people, and we're going to continue to have the senior citizens and everybody in the middle because we have the age range of 4 to 81 right now, and we're trying to expand that because we want to give our kids something to do not only during the school year, but also summertime in the evenings. We want to train them to be coaches because if they can't find jobs, but they can coach, they can get paid for coaching, and perhaps maybe earn enough money so that they're not inclined to step left. My whole idea is I don't want any more of our kids going to jail. We're trying to find ways, and we're trying to find ways that's not going to cost the parents a whole lot of money because I understand that in these hard times, you're robbing Peter to pay Paul. Okay, but think about it. If the bowling program for youth is only $18 a week, how much is bail? Because I think I've seen some people paying a whole lot more bail than that. And remember, bowling does offer more scholarships than all the other sports combined. So they not only meet positive people, because the Different Approach program has the 99.999999 success rate, in that we only had one kid get arrested and we reined him in, and we only had one kid drop out of high school since 1988. You can't beat that. You cannot beat that. And all we're saying is we'd like to expand. We'd actually like a venue where we can have an academy, a bowling academy, and bring our kids in, bring all the kids in. There's less bowling centers in New York City now than there were 10 years ago, and it's going to be even less, which means when bowling becomes an Olympic sport, New York City is not going to be included in the mix. I'd like to open an academy. And because I'm a certified USBC Olympic coach, bronze level, and we have the largest number of certified Olympic coaches in one program in the world, then why are we not known all over the world? Why is it that I'm still begging people to help? I give up my time. I'm not a mother. I'm an aunt. I'm a cousin. I'm a sister. Sometimes I'm mean. But I'm not a mother. But I don't have a problem giving up my Saturday mornings for other people's children, because I know that we're doing something that's positive in our community, and we don't have our hand out asking for anything except for the kids to come so we can hug them, we can love them, and we can show them the right way to go. Okay? So, I want to thank you again for choosing In My Shoes. I just had to get that off my chest because I'm having a hard time with the number of people who are saying, well, the kids are out there, they don't have anything to do. Well, I'm telling you that there are things for them to do, but we need the funding for it. So, instead of spending billions of dollars to fix a pothole that's going to be unched up again, give us some money so that we can keep our kids safe, healthy, and love them. Be well. Hi again. Thank you for choosing In My Shoes. I'm Hilda Kathy Broady, your host. Remember, we at In My Shoes are taking a different approach to service in the world. I have to give you some feedback on a couple of the previous shows, recent shows. We did a show with Lehman College's football team. These fantastic young people. I'm apologizing because we had a bit of a snafu, so there was a delay in broadcasting, and so a couple of them graduated. But we want to recognize that these guys need our community support. There's 6 schools in one, but they were a wonderful example of what our young people should be doing, working together, and we are really trying to support them. So you can get in touch with Lehman High School. Oh, I said Lehman College? Lehman High School, to make sure that you're involved in our youth while they're still in school, not when they're hanging out on the corner, but while they're still in school, doing something positive. They're playing football, but they're doing a little bit more than that because they've learned a lot of life skills.
Yeah, M-Wham got a message for you. Check it out. I've been less offended by the boxers, all the sagging pants in our community. I got a song for you. Check it out. Here we go. Come on.
Pull your pants up, pull your pants up. Pull your pants up, pull your pants up. Pull your pants up, pull your pants up.
Yeah.
It's the new style.
Come on, collect, talk to me.
Say, Mr. Harris, sagging jeans is an epidemic.
That's right.
One that I've never been a fan of. And I can't stand how these young men, they sagging, they dragging. Come on, pull your pants up. And I know us girls, we in the wrong for not putting these fellas on.
You got the power.
But I'm offended by boxers. And I think that we all should be. You feel me?
Help me.
Pull your pants up, pull your pants up.
Yeah.
Pull your pants up, pull your pants up. Pull your pants up, pull your pants up.
Why?
It's the new style. Pull your
epidemic. Sagging jeans and sweatpants is how I'm living. Need to set the example to make the future right. So hey, our message when we hit you with the chant like, pull your pants up, pull your pants up. Pull your pants up. It's kinda catchy. Pull your pants up, pull your pants up. It's the new style. Pull your pants up, pull your pants up. Pull your pants up, pull your pants up. Pull your pants up, pull your pants up. It'll make your mama proud.
I know you heard your belt say. You know your belt was talking to you this morning. Said, come on, just take me with you. I just wanna help you all day, keep your pants up. I just wanna throw myself around you and hang out with you all day long. But you know what? You didn't listen, so now we don't have to tell you this. Come on, say it.
Pull your pants up, pull your pants up. Pull your pants up, pull your pants up. Pull your pants up, pull your pants up. It's the new style. Pull your pants up, pull your pants up. Pull your pants up, pull your pants up. Pull your pants up, pull your pants up. It'll make your mama proud.
You definitely lived that out.
My
No, I mean, but I see what it is. Sometimes people, they get amazed when you go through so much, and then you get solutions. The issue isn't having the problems. The issue is getting to the solution so that you can give back. And, people say, well, how did you have cancer twice and a heart attack, quadruple bypass?
In my shoes, we really are taking a different approach to servicing the world.